Hi guys, and welcome to week 2, session 3. We're going to start with the warm-up. The first exercise we will be doing is seated cross-legged breathing. For this position, we want to start with our legs crossed. We want to be able to relax our shoulders and rest our arms on our legs. When doing this position, we want to relax through our body from our head to our toes and remember to keep breathing in and out. Make sure that our shoulders are rolled back and that our arms are rested comfortably on our legs. Well done, that is the position over. The next position we will do is the cat-cow pose with shoulder slides. Like always, we want to get into our tabletop position. When ready, we are going to push our belly button down and lift our gaze high up on the wall into cow pose. When you are ready, we want to roll through our spine, pushing our spine up to the sky and tucking our tailbone in. As we move back into cow pose, lift our chin from our chest, looking high up on the sky, and push our belly button back towards the floor. To move back into cat pose, tuck our chin towards our chest, arching our back towards the sky. As we move back into cow pose, we want to make sure that our pelvis is tilted high up to the sky and that our gaze is lifted. When you are ready, we are going to curve back through the spine, taking our chin towards our chest and tucking our pelvis under. As we move back into cow pose for the final time, make sure that we are pushing through our shoulders and pushing our belly button towards the floor. As we move back into cat pose, tuck our chin towards our chest and arch through the spine. Return back to a neutral position before taking our left arm underneath our right arm so that our left shoulder is now placed against the floor. When you are ready, return back to neutral before taking your right arm underneath our left arm so that our right shoulder is now placed against the floor. Return back to neutral before taking our left arm back underneath our right arm to place the shoulder against the floor. For the final time, return back to neutral and take our right arm underneath our left arm, placing the shoulder against the floor again. Return back to neutral, and that's the exercise over. The next exercise we'll do is a low lunge stretch. For this position, we want to take ourselves into a lunge. We're going to press our hips forward and make sure that our knee is not going over our front toe. We want to try and make sure that our back knee is still straight. To move out of the position, straighten both your legs and step forward out of the lunge. We will now do it on the opposite side. When ready, take the lunge back, making sure that our knee is straight and that our front knee is not going over our toes. Push forward with your hips, making sure that the stretch is felt down the front of your leg. When you are ready, straighten your legs and step out of the lunge. Now move back to the opposite side again. When ready, take the lunge back, making sure that the knee is not going over the toe and that we are pushing forward with our hips. Return back to a standing position and move back to the other side. When you are ready, take the big lunge back, making sure that the knee is not going over the toe and that we are pushing forward through the hips to deepen the lunge. Now straighten your legs and return to standing. Well done, that's the exercise over. We will now move on to the main session. The first exercise of this main session will be the eagle pose. For this position, we want to take ourselves into our chair pose. Before taking our arms back and then wrapping them either to take them over our shoulders or into the twisted prayer position. When ready, lift your right leg off the floor and wrap it over your left leg, trying to tuck your toe behind your thigh. We want to make sure that we are keeping our bottom leg bent, and if you wobble out of this position, just reset and return back to the position. When you are ready, unfold and now move to the other side. Once again, take ourselves back into chair pose. Bring our arms to the side before putting them either on our shoulders or into our twisted prayer. We are now going to take our left leg and wrap it over our right leg. Just remember to keep the knees bent. When you are ready, unfold yourself and move back to the other side. Take this time to reset your body position, make sure that our shoulders are relaxed and our stance is normal, before taking our arms back up and returning to our chair position. Take our arms so that they are crossing our body before lifting up our right leg and wrapping it round our left leg. When you are ready, return to neutral before moving on to the opposite side again for the final time. When you are ready, take our arms above our head and return to chair pose. At this point, cross your arms across your body into the twisted prayer position before lifting our left leg and wrapping it over our right leg. Well done. That is the eagle pose complete. Now we will move on to the side angle pose. For this position, we want to get into our warrior 2 pose by taking a deep lunge back and twisting our back foot to 90 degrees and placing our arms out to the side. When ready, hinge at the hips so that our hand is now placed on our foot and that our other arm is straight up at the sky. Move our gaze so that we are now looking at our top hand. To move out of this position, return to standing, straightening both of our legs and stepping out to the opposite side. When ready, take the deep lunge back with our left leg, twist the foot to 90 degrees so that we are now in warrior 2 position. When ready, hinge at the hips so that our hand is now placed on our foot and that our other hand is high up in the sky. When you are ready, unfold out the position and return to the opposite side again. Once again, take ourselves into warrior 2 position before hinging at the hips so that our hand is now placed on our foot and our other hand is high up in the sky. When you are ready, unfold out the position and move to the opposite side. For the final time, take ourselves into warrior 2 position before hinging at the hips so that our hand is now placed on our foot. Make sure that we are looking at our top hand. Well done, that is this exercise over. The next position we will do is chair pose onto toes. We want to find our neutral standing position and take our feet into a narrower stance. Take ourselves into our chair pose by bending at the knees and hinging the hips. We want to make sure our gaze is in front of us. When you are ready, straighten at the legs and roll through our feet onto our toes. We want to make sure that we are keeping our core engaged as well as our glutes and hamstrings. This will mean that we won't be wobbling as much. When you are ready, roll back down through the feet, back into our chair pose. Make sure that our knees are going over our toes and not moving inwards. When you are ready, we're going to straighten our legs and roll back through our feet, back up onto our toes. Roll back through the feet so that we are now in a standing position. Take our arms back down to our sides and use this as a reset. When ready, take our arms back above our head and return to chair pose. Make sure that we are pushing our knees out so that they are going over our toes and not bending inwards. When you are ready, roll up through the toes, engage in the core so that we are now balanced on our toes. As we roll back down through the feet and hinge at the hips, return ourselves to chair pose. Make sure that the core is engaged and that our knees are going over our toes. When you are ready, roll up through the feet onto our toes, engaging the core so that we are now balanced. Well done. Return to standing, and that is this exercise over. The next exercise we will do is a standing forward bend. For this position, we want to make sure that we are standing in our neutral standing position. When ready, take our arms above our head and hinge at the hips. We want to make sure that we are keeping a flat back and not curving through our spine. This may mean that your fingers can reach the floor, or you may have to rest them on your thighs. We want to hold this position so that we are feeling the stretch down the back of our legs. Keep breathing and you may be able to push yourself further into the stretch. We are now going to move from left to right, mobilising ourselves through the spine and our hips. When you are ready, return back to the position where we are hanging directly over our feet. To move out of the position, we want to bend our knees and roll up through our spine. The next position we will do is the plank pose. For this position, we want to be in our lower plank pose. So take ourselves from the tabletop and place our knees on the floor and our elbows out in front of you. When ready, lift your knees up the floor, engaging the core and making sure that we are keeping our bottom tucked in and that we have more of a straight line from our shoulders to our heels rather than an arch. Well done, that is the first rep over. Place our knees on the floor and move yourself into whatever position you feel comfortable. We will be taking a 20-second rest. When you are ready, return back to your plank pose. We will be starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's lift our knees off the floor back into the plank pose. Well done, that is the second rep complete. Now, get yourself ready for the third and final one. We'll be starting in 3, 2, 1. Lift your knees off the floor, making sure that our bum is tucked in and that we have a straight line from our shoulders to our heels. Well done, that is this exercise complete. Now it's time for the cool down. The first exercise we will be doing is the reclining butterfly pose. For this position, we want to be lying on our back with our knees bent. When ready, place our feet together and push our knees out to the sides. You can use your hands to deepen the stretch by pushing down our thighs, or you can just rest them there if you already feel the stretch. Well done. Bring our knees together and that's this exercise over. The next exercise we will be doing is a happy baby pose. For this position, we want to start the same by having our knees bent out in front of us. When ready, lie down and bring our knees to our chest. Take our arms through the middle and grab hold of our big toes. Try and pull your knees to your armpits. If you feel like you can pull your knees further, grab hold of your feet and pull them down. We want to make sure that we have a 90-degree angle between our thighs and our calves. When you are ready, return back to the position with our knees against our chest. When you are ready, take our feet back to the floor so that we are lying flat. Use this time to relax yourself from your head through to your toes. Well done, that is this exercise complete. That is the session completed.